Creating intense attraction is an art that many men strive to master, yet few truly understand. This sentiment lies at the heart of forging deep connections and drawing someone into your orbit. To truly captivate a woman, it's essential to not only present your best self, but to also engage her emotions and stimulate her senses. In a world overflowing with distractions, understanding how to create intense attraction means becoming a source of intrigue and excitement. By harnessing powerful techniques that amplify your charm and charisma, you can transform your interactions into unforgettable experiences. It's about mastering the subtle nuances of attraction that leave a lasting impression. So whether you're looking to reignite the spark with a longtime partner or make a striking first impression on someone new, knowing how to become more appealing is the key. Get ready to discover 4 mesmerizing techniques that will help you stand out and create the magnetic connection you've always desired. Number 1. Welcome to the emotional train. Imagine a high-speed train moving at its regular safe pace every day, steadily gliding along the tracks. It encounters no issues, no sparks, no dangers. But what happens if you push the train to go faster? Suddenly there are sparks flying from the friction, the risk of derailment increases, and a sense of danger rises. Yet, everyone on board agrees to speed up to reach their destination on time, accepting the risks. Now imagine emotions as this high-speed train. Now, let's turn that train into emotions, specifically a woman's emotions. Every woman, no matter how composed or put together, feels deeply. Feelings are at the core of who she is. Positive emotions like love and happiness are like that train moving smoothly, bringing a sense of comfort. But negative emotions, anger, jealousy, frustration, those are the sparks that fly when the train accelerates, pushing boundaries. And here's the twist. When you stir her emotions, even the negative ones, she becomes more engaged. You become the focus of her emotional energy. But what happens if you only stick to the comfortable side of things? What if you only strive to keep her happy, avoiding conflict, steering clear of anything that might upset her? It sounds like the right thing to do, right? But the truth is, playing it safe can cause you to lose her attention. Just like that train slowing down, you become less noticeable, less exciting. Here's where it gets interesting. Have you ever heard of the suspension bridge experiment? Psychologist Donald Dutton found that people who met while in an anxious or heightened emotional state, like crossing a high, unstable bridge, were more likely to develop romantic feelings for one another. It wasn't the setting or the conversations that sparked attraction, it was the emotions. Their hearts raced not from love but from fear, and yet that emotional intensity still created a bond. This is exactly what happens in relationships. You can be the source of her joy, sure. But if you're also the reason for her frustration or anxiety, you're still front and center in her mind. It might seem counterintuitive, but you don't have to avoid every negative emotion. Sometimes, a bit of emotional turbulence deepens the connection. You see, emotions, whether they're positive or negative, are what keep her focused on you. Look at the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," said Seneca. If you approach her emotional storms with calmness and resilience instead of trying to control or fix everything, you'll find that she feels safe in your presence even when she's upset. It's not about avoiding her negative emotions, but about standing firm through them. You become the calm in the storm, not the one fueling it. But here's the real kicker. If you avoid stirring any emotions at all, if you steer clear of making her feel deeply, you'll become forgettable. Why would she stick around if she doesn't feel anything? No excitement, no anger, no thrill. Relationships are built on the full spectrum of emotions, not just the happy moments. Think of it like this. Imagine your favorite song. It doesn't just have one note repeated over and over. It has highs, lows, crescendos, and pauses. The beauty is in the contrast, in the tension that leads to release. The same is true for emotions. A relationship without emotional tension is like a song stuck on a single dull note. Real relationships are messy. They come with frustration, moments of tension, maybe even a few arguments. But within those moments is the potential for something deeper. A bond that's not just based on peace, but on surviving the storm together. Famous writer Anais Nin once said, "We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are." When she experiences the full range of emotions with you, she sees you as the person who's there through it all, someone who can handle the intensity of her feelings. So, what's your next move? Will you take the easy road, the one that avoids all sparks and speed, staying safe and predictable? Or will you step into the role of someone who isn't afraid to navigate the emotional highs and lows, knowing that those moments are what create the deepest connections? Remember this: the more we try to avoid discomfort, the more it follows us, said author Brené Brown. If you want to keep her attention, keep her engaged, you have to embrace the discomfort, embrace the complexity of emotions. That's where the magic happens. So ask yourself, are you ready to be the calm in her storm, even if it means sparking a little chaos along the way? Because in the end, it's not the quiet, predictable moments that leave a mark. It's the ones that make her feel deeply, in ways that only you can. And that is what keeps her coming back for more. Number 2, where emotions spread. Certain moments linger in your mind like an unexpected kiss or a touch that catches you off guard. These moments hold the power to create what psychologists call cognitive fixation. For women, once something meaningful is etched in their memory, they often replay it, reliving the emotions tied to that memory. If you give her a moment she can't forget, it's not just about the action. It's about how that action made her feel. It's not simply chemistry. It's the delicate blend of emotional impact and curiosity that pulls someone deeper into their thoughts. When you mix that with an element of surprise, you activate something powerful, an emotional loop. Those subtle feelings of excitement and fixation can spark longing or nostalgia. But how do you create those moments? 1. Ask thought-provoking questions. Curiosity flows from both sides. Instead of small talk, ask open-ended, thought-provoking questions that encourage the other person to reflect and engage. These kinds of questions show depth, making you stand out and fostering meaningful connections. Examples could be, is there something you've always wanted to try but haven't yet? If you could relive one moment from your life, what would it be? Questions like these take the conversation deeper, sparking emotional connection because people are naturally drawn to those who express interest in their inner world. 2. Leave the conversation on a high note. Ending a conversation or interaction on a high note leaves the other person wanting more. Instead of dragging things out, walk away when the energy is still good while they're still intrigued and eager to continue. This keeps them thinking about you even after the conversation is over. For instance, if a date or conversation is going well, rather than waiting until things fizzle out, you could say, "I've really enjoyed this, but I have to head out. Let's pick this up another time." 3. Surprise and subtlety. Small surprises create intrigue. It doesn't have to be grand gestures. A spontaneous compliment, a unique introduction, or showing up with their favorite coffee demonstrates thoughtfulness in a subtle, engaging way. The key is being unpredictable enough that they never know exactly what to expect from you. Science. Surprise triggers the brain's reward center, releasing dopamine, which boosts attraction and interest. 4. Be passionate and interesting. People are magnetically drawn to those who are passionate about something. Whether it's your work, a hobby, or a quirky interest, sharing that passion shows depth and authenticity, making you more attractive. Being fully engaged in your own life makes others want to know more about you. Example: talk about your latest creative project or a new skill you're learning. Your enthusiasm will be contagious, and they'll be curious to see where it leads. 5. Keep them guessing. Don't always be available. While reliability is important, being a bit unpredictable with your time can create a sense of anticipation. This leaves the person wondering when they'll hear from you next, building curiosity. 6. Engage in meaningful shared experiences. Shared experiences, especially those that are unique or unexpected, create powerful memories and emotional bonds. Doing something surprising or out of the ordinary lingers in their mind, and they'll associate you with that experience. Example: instead of a typical dinner, invite them to an unusual museum or suggest a spontaneous road trip to an interesting location. A study by psychologist Arthur Aaron revealed that shared activities involving novelty or surprise can lead to stronger emotional bonds, as the brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. This is why those unexpected touches or unique experiences stay with someone. 7. A thoughtful gift. Sometimes an unexpected gift or gesture speaks volumes. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's about the thought behind it that makes it memorable. Attraction is a delicate balance, giving enough to build a connection, but holding back just enough to leave them wanting more. The combination of curiosity, subtlety, and passion draws people in. As Oscar Wilde once said, "The secret of remaining young is never to have an emotion that is unbecoming." Similarly, the key to being magnetic lies in maintaining that sense of charm and mystery. So, where in your interactions can you apply these principles to spark curiosity and create deeper connections? Imagine the thrill of leaving someone wondering what your next move will be, or the power in crafting a moment that lingers in their mind long after it's passed. Each interaction is an opportunity to leave a lasting impression, to engage someone's mind in a way that they can't easily shake off. What would happen if you consistently brought this kind of energy into your connections? Remember, it's not about forcing a moment or trying too hard to be memorable. It's about weaving a sense of intrigue into the little things. Think about it. How many people have asked her what moment in her life she would like to relive? How many people make an effort to leave conversations at their peak instead of dragging them out until they fizzle? That's how you stand out. In a world filled with fleeting interactions, when you cultivate these intentional moments, you create something rare. You're not just another conversation in a sea of distractions. You're the one who leaves a mark, the one they find themselves thinking about even when they're alone. And that, in itself, is incredibly powerful. What will you do today to start creating these unforgettable moments? Number 3, emotions are blended. When life's journey gets long and the weight of the day feels heavy, sometimes we all need to pause, just like a traveler stopping at a roadside inn. This break isn't just for you, it's for her too. Women feel secure when they're in an environment where they can let go, where they can be themselves. That moment of rest, of shared peace, strengthens the bond between you. It's in these moments that true connections form, when she feels seen, known, and valued. As Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." A confident man understands the delicate balance between a woman's joy and sadness. When she's happy, how do you add to that moment? Do you share in her laughter, encouraging her dreams, making her feel like anything is possible? And when she's sad, how do you stand by her side? It's not always about solving her problems. Sometimes it's about simply being present. As psychologist Carl Rogers said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." The same applies to others. When you accept her feelings without judgment, you give her the space to heal. Emotions are like waves. They ebb and flow, and those peaks of intensity often define a relationship. Don't shy away from these moments. When she opens up and shares a vulnerable story, lean in. Don't rush to fix things or change the subject. Just listen. In those quiet moments, trust is built. There's a power in silence, a power in letting her emotions be felt without interruption. It's in these moments of empathy that true intimacy is born. As Brené Brown reminds us, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen. It's not the grand gestures or expensive gifts that build these connections. It's the small, consistent acts, listening, being there, and offering support when it's needed most. Finding harmony in relationships is an art. It's about knowing when to offer closeness and when to give space. Sometimes she'll need someone to lean on, someone to hear her without trying to fix everything. Other times, she might just need quiet comfort, a presence, not words. The key is being aware of her emotional state and reading between the lines. As John Steinbeck once wrote, "What good is the warmth of summer without the cold of winter to give it sweetness?" You need both the closeness and the distance to create a relationship that lasts, so ask yourself, are you ready to be the person she turns to when life feels overwhelming? You don't need to have all the answers. In fact, it's not about the answers. It's about showing her that she matters. Just being there, in her corner, is often enough. As the philosopher Seneca once said, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Being there for someone through the highs and lows is one of the greatest acts of love. It's in these moments that relationships are truly forged, not in grand proclamations, but in the quiet, everyday acts of care. Are you ready to show up, to listen, and to be present? It's the little things that make the biggest difference. Number 4, why do women cry over you? Understanding emotional dynamics in relationships. A woman who doesn't like you won't shed a tear for you. This is a crucial insight into emotional dynamics. As a man, especially one who understands the power of emotions, it's important to know that bringing up tears can be undesirable, but so can healing those emotions and restoring joy. The truth is, every emotional impact, no matter how small, leaves a lasting echo in a woman's heart. When a woman loves, her feelings burn like an eternal flame. It never extinguishes. It only diminishes when you fail to engage her instincts. Remember, women may cry out of joy or sorrow, revealing the depth of their feelings for you. Here's the secret. Every time she cries for you, whether in happiness or sorrow, it ignites her passion even further. When she regains her smile, you'll notice your bond has elevated to a new height. This is the essence of what I'm sharing. Many believe in the push-pull technique of attraction, which has its merits. However, let's be clear, relationships are risky. If you push too hard, you may provoke a reaction that distances her for good. Think of emotional scars. They can heal, but whether they leave a mark depends on the depth of your influence. Now let's delve into this push-pull game. It's merely a small part of the emotional catalyst that draws women to you. Attracting a woman becomes truly effective when she is open to you. The push-pull technique involves creating physical and psychological space, which can stimulate interest. For example, I find you interesting, but there's also something about you that I want to get to know better. Maybe I need a little more time to make sure we're really compatible. This back and forth creates attraction, signaling that you care without appearing desperate. Some might find this concept strange, but if she is receptive and you're genuinely sincere, it will unfold naturally. Women have an innate ability to sense your intentions. But let's make this more relatable. Have you ever felt an inexplicable pull towards someone after a shared emotional moment? It's this dynamic that fosters connection. Emotional responses like laughter and tears forge bonds that deepen understanding. Questions to ponder. How do you respond when a woman expresses her emotions? Are you ready to embrace the vulnerability that comes with genuine connection? What if the key to her heart lies in your ability to navigate these emotional currents? In conclusion, the art of attraction is complex but fascinating. The balance between emotional engagement and genuine intention will draw her closer, igniting that inner flame. By understanding and respecting her emotional landscape, you can cultivate a deeper, more meaningful connection. The journey to love is not just about attraction. It is about understanding and nurturing the emotions that make up love. In conclusion, knowing how to create intense attraction with a woman involves understanding and mastering techniques that go beyond the surface. It's about embodying confidence, authenticity, and emotional intelligence. As you implement these 4 mesmerizing techniques, remember that attraction is not just about the initial spark. It's about building a genuine connection that makes you more appealing over time. Believe in your potential to attract and connect deeply, and don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your journey in mastering these techniques is a valuable one, and we're here to support you every step of the way. If you found this content helpful, please show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to The Stoic Goddess for more insights and tips. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our amazing videos. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.